So, here this Friday night on CarameLLized, I've got the one and only. Finish up your name for everybody so they can hear your name.
Jermaine Gmo, the one and only.
Hi, Gmo.
How are you?
Good. How are you? So, tell me about yourself. Kind of introduce us about who Gmo is and what you do, and just let everybody know about yourself.
All right, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me on the show. To keep it simple, I'm a simple man with big dreams, and I've gone down a lot of different paths. Learned a lot of things, and I'm still learning things. So I learned to be grateful for the journey. Even in the face of adversity, the journey is what is the most fulfilling.
Message system. Can you explain more about that?
Certainly. So just to kind of keep it simple, because there's a lot of elements in the IT industry, but we're a full service IT management company. We deal with design, network design, implementation, structured cabling, low voltage wiring, cybersecurity, anything dealing with technology, we're involved in it. Access control, security systems, or whatnot. We service the everyday, ordinary customer to enterprise companies. So we have a solution and a product for every business type.
Wow, great. So tell me more. What inspired you to start this business? What exactly was your vision for it? Explain further on that.
Okay, well, KMT Technologies, which is actually a DBA of CarameLLized LLC, which is our parent company. I originally created that business in Florida, probably over 15 years ago. At the time, I was a cabinet maker, and so I saw some different pieces of art that inspired me to do my own creative thing. So I created that name with the idea of creativity in motion, and so I put the two together, and that's how we got Creative Motive. As far as what inspired me to start this business, it kind of just evolved into what it is now. I'll give you a little history. I'll try to sum it up because I can talk for a long time. But so when I moved to Florida, I was raised in Houston. I moved to Florida when I was about 20 years old, and so I had a background in auto mechanics, carpentry, home repair, handyman services. So when I moved to Florida, it wasn't hard for me to find work. Had a few different jobs, apartment maintenance and cabinet making and contracting, and eventually I got into the satellite installation business. Good friend of mine referred me to a company. I came in as a subcontractor, started doing satellite installations for DirecTV, and so I did that about 8 years out there in Florida. It was pretty good, company to work for at the time. Learned a lot of, different skills, right. A lot of personal development, leadership development. So, it was a pretty good experience. And so, with, life, things happen, marriages, children, things like that. Decided to move back to Texas, and ended up coming out to Dallas. And so I was a technician in Dallas for about 7 or 8 months. And I was actually considering getting out of the business altogether because I was kind of, repulsed by the management, at that company. In Florida, we all had like a code, a brotherly code. So we were high producing, quality work, and we never left, a technician out working late. So we worked like a family. Supervisors took care of us. We took care of the supervisors. It was a real healthy environment. So that's what I was used to. And so when I came to Dallas, it was the complete opposite. So I went into shell shock on that, you know, and so I knew I was going to get away from that company. They had a few job opportunities for a supervisor and a trainer, so I applied for both. Went on 2 interviews for a supervisor. Didn't work out. I think I probably gave them a little bit too much information about their shortcomings.
Tell me more about yourself, your background as a person. Where are you from?
Well, my bloodline is one of the most magnificent. I'm a Nigerian American. My father is from Nigeria, so I have a huge family, very huge family.
Hold on. Have you heard of that saying, Niger, no carry left?
We're out here. We're out here.
Okay.
My mother is native to North America. So we have a lot of roots as natives here, you know, in this land. So I grew up in Houston, and I had a pretty, I would say, common hood story for, you know, a boy growing up in an urban environment. Single mother, you know, for the most part. You had to grow up fast. And so, you know, you go through those processes, you know. It's all about development. So, you know, I dabble with, you know, I was a criminal for a short period of time.
What?
I would say I was
what do you mean criminal? What do you mean?
So in the environment that I grew up in, you know, most of the you know, older guys around, you know, they become role models by default, you know, and so you know, most of them were, you know, some type of criminal, maybe drug dealer, you know, you know, pimp, you know, whatever, assassin, Pimps? I don't know, but
oh wow.
So basically, but you learn a lot of things, you know, principles. I noticed that a lot of, even though they were living those lifestyles, they had a code or principles for how a man should conduct himself, you know. And so we all learned that early, as far as having integrity, having a moral compass, and having a sense of righteousness. And so I learned that early on. I learned a lot of things early on, you know, about how to be resourceful, how to be productive, and how to basically being groomed to be able to take care of ourselves, you know. I guess you can kind of call it a urban rites of passage, you know, because you know, you have to learn how to maintain, you know, who you are in an environment that you know, has a lot of persuasions and a lot of temptations. But I did a lot of silly things early on, but I was always smart. So I've never been a dumb criminal. So I put that, you know, behind me before I was 20 years old. But I've always been an entrepreneurial person. You know, I learned that from actually my stepfather, you know, the carpentry, the metalwork, the principle of craftsmanship, and making sure that everything you put your hands on, you do it with high quality. And that's what represents, you know, your name. So that's always been a key factor with me, you know, is maintaining a consistent and an honorable name, you know, and I've been able to do that, right, you know, successfully throughout my whole life.
Oh, that's right. Thank you for that. Now, back to the business questions. So, Jimo, what are the current trends in the IT management and low voltage business that you would actually say you're excited about in the near future?
Well, I mean, everybody's excited about, you know, AI. That's changing the game. You know, you know, we won't even get into that conversation. But I mean, as technology evolves, you know, it's the main question is, you know, how can you use that to streamline your operations, or you know, generate more revenue, or how can this add more value in general, even with customer relations. So I don't think, you know, it matters what the technology is. It just depends on what your goal and what your focus is, and then you use what you need, you know, and leave the rest. One of the things that I am excited about is as technology evolves, a lot of you know, businesses that have been operating with the same technology for the last 30 years
Okay.
are more open to upgrading and kind of getting with the time. So we're doing a lot of we have a lot of big projects coming up. Our head-end systems, our IT head-end systems are doing pretty good. And basically, our mission with our company is we just want to be there as a tool in your tool belt. You know, anytime there's an issue, you know, whether you're dealing with another vendor or you know, another company, use us as an emergency. Use us as that fail-safe mechanism and let us earn your business. But you know, we stand on our word. We do good work, and we have solutions. So I'm excited about that part because it's a new market that I think we'll be able to do real good in.
Wow, great. So tell me something. As we all know, as a business person, with every business comes challenges. What are some of the most difficult times and challenges you've come across throughout your IT services management business?
Yeah.
And how did you conduct yourself?
Well, I got plenty of those, but I'll try to find a short story.
Okay.
I'll give you this one. So 2018, 2019, I was more active in the retail side of the business. So we resell essential services like, you know, TV, internet, cell phone, home security. You know, we do it for consumers and businesses. And so I was doing that full time. And we were, at the time, we were doing just, you know, standard inbound campaigns, you know, digital marketing. And then I got a great source of data for customers to do follow-up calls. And so we started a texting campaign. And once we did that, our numbers just shot through the roof, literally about 300 to 400%. And so at the time, I was still thinking I had a limited scope of what I saw, you know, for myself and for the business. Basically, at that point, I was still just kind of operating off of knowledge and information that I learned growing up, you know, in the streets or people around me. But I didn't have an actual business plan. I didn't have any, you know, systems set up to deal with that increase in volume. So I started overspending, you know, paying for services that, you know, overpaying for services to kind of keep the operation moving to deal with that sudden change in volume. And it was a pretty rough time. Ironically, I probably made the most money in that period, but it was the most devastating at the same time, you know.
Wow.
Because and that's a true thing. A lot of businesses go out of business from having too much business and not having the processes set up to deal with that expansion. So
that's something
that's something I learned too. That was a very, very powerful lesson. Some of the other frustrations would be anybody that's a business owner that has employees already knows how that situation is. You know, that, you know, it's a needle in a haystack to find that employee that, you know, it understands the vision and they exemplify it, you know, with everything that they do. So personnel, not on the installation side, because I always make sure that the technicians are good, you know, make sure I keep them busy. So we have an opportunity as an employee or a contractor when it comes to sales. And so I always tell people when it comes to sales, you have to be, it takes a certain kind of person to be a productive salesperson, you know.
Right.
You have to be a self-starter. You have to be ambitious, creative, and you have to have thick skin. You know, everybody knows that, and everybody's not built for that. But at the time, I thought I was putting people in a position where they could maximize, you know, the revenue. But you know, at that time, I didn't know that much about, you know, interpersonal skills and personality traits and all that. But I would say that was frustrating, you know, when you want to do more for someone than they want to do for themselves.
And how important is it for you to keep them?
So that's the most fulfilling part, you know, of being in business is meeting good people,
Right.
like number one. Meeting good people, and then if we can get some money together,
That is
that's
so
even better.
hard. That
you
is
know,
so hard.
that's basically my barometer. When I do
Right.
business, I don't do business with everybody, and so the people that I do business with, again, my name is Platinum. I take care of my people. If we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it, even if we have to take a loss. We're going to make sure that their name is solid. So when it comes to networking, I'm always open and excited to do that because I always keep my cup empty. I'm always looking to learn things. I'm always looking to have a opportunity to have a change of perspective. I always tell my sales reps and even everybody around me, that's interested in doing business, don't focus on the money, focus on the relationships, focus on the relationships and the processes. You got to have a plan. You have to have a system where you can operate consistently, and build up some solid analytics. Focus on the system and focus on the relationships, and you can't go wrong. If you chase the money, you're gonna set yourself back. It's like chasing water with no bucket. Focus on the relationship. One relationship could change your life, like literally. So treat everybody with the same level of respect. No matter what status you may think that they have. What I've learned over the last 10 years being in business, or 15 or 20 in the service industry, is can't judge a book by its cover. I deal with the customer on the lowest end of the economic scale and on the highest. And at the end of the day, I'm dealing with humans. And that's the way I operate. I never take the humanity out of doing business, and I think our clients appreciate that.
Yeah. Actually, on that note, how do you foster a collaborative environment among your team members? Because that's very strong. You have to have a strong team around you. You have to have
Yeah,
people that
definitely.
are showing up for you. We all know that life is not like a one-man show, right?
Correct.
So, how do you keep that in check? And tell me more about it, about
Well,
the qualities you look for when hiring new members in your team.
one of the first characteristics that I look for is accountability. You know,
Mhm.
because we all make mistakes. We all
Yeah,
come up short. But at the
mhm.
end of the day, if you're willing to own up to it, take your licks, then
Right.
that means that we can move forward. We can put a plan together to improve that. I think the most important thing that I do is I give my people a chance to voice their opinions. We have a round table.
I love
What are
that.
some of the things that you feel would help you become more productive? What are some of the things that are frustrating to you as far as processes? Maybe there's something we can do to change that to simplify that particular task. So I'm open to criticism. I'm not perfect.
Wow.
I'm still growing. I don't
Hmm.
know it. I don't have it all. So I always leave that channel of communication open because iron sharpens iron. In every
Wow.
environment that I'm in, I try to foster that type of energy
I
because
love
uh,
that.
you know as humans we're in it together. So we got to build each other up.
Hmm.
And I incentivize more than I penalize. Um, all everybody that deals with me understands that their word is bond. Like
Yes.
if you say it, I'm running your credit. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and I tell people all the time, if it's not a guarantee, then just keep it casual. Don't give me a declaration because once that happens, I'm running your credit profile, and we're
Hmm.
going to see how that works out. And so I have the same type of relationship with the people that work with me. Um, let's stand on our word. And so if we fall short of that, take the licks. If you exceed expectations, get a bag. So that's what it is. We keep it real simple. Just stand on your word. And ask
Yeah.
for help if you need it.
Yeah, I respect that. And that's why you're such a great leader. You are so successful in not only this business, you've got many other businesses. Um, Actually, so to further those questions, I actually kind of wrote some down just to remind
Okay.
myself.
Improv. I'm with it.
Okay. Um, so tell me something. What qualities do you look for when hiring new people? Um, like what do
Yeah.
you
Well,
really look for?
for one,
Hmm.
integrity.
Hmm.
That's number one.
Yeah.
I put that above, productivity and performance. Again, I like to surround myself around good people, or people that have qualities that generally promote, positive outcomes. So integrity would be, number one. Willingness would be number two. A lot of times people come in and they put a lot of too much pressure on themselves to perform at a certain level, and they don't give themselves enough grace. But I expect people to come in and fail because that's an opportunity, for us to uh, uh, create a deeper bond by coming up with a plan that could actually help you get those results. So um, creativity, again, the systems that I have in place, I know they're not perfect. I know there's a lot of holes in them. So if you see a situation or a process that you can improve, by all means, speak up. So initiative, take initiative. If you see things that need to be done, that haven't been getting done, be all the way in. As our company culture is, we're in it together. So at the end of the day, things have to be done no matter who does it. So, and I incentivize things like that. So if somebody else dropped the ball and you came in, picked up slack, boom, we're going to level that out. We're going to take a bag and give a bag, and that's just how we do things. And
Take a bag and give a bag.
everybody knows that's how it works.
Yeah.
We have a very simple scale of
Mhm.
how we conduct ourselves.
Right. So, are there any recent technological advancements that have significantly impacted your business operations?
Uh, I would say that the biggest thing would just be AI, and all these different AI based softwares that simplify, automate. Automation is huge, and that's actually
Hmm.
something that I did just this year that I've started implementing. Just a side note, I've been in business almost 10 years, and just being honest and transparent, I've never done any kind of targeted, dedicated marketing until this year. So
Wow.
my business has been thriving really just off word of mouth and referrals. And
Yeah.
again, I'm a simple person, so I wasn't that excited about getting into digital marketing and all those things. And everybody around me has been talking about it. Now I understand the power of it, so we're doing some things with that now. But I've always just kept things simple, and so I think we're going to do some great things now that we're implementing that technology. Automation. That's where it's at.
Automation. Automation.
That's where it's at.
I
Follow up is where the
I
sell
heard
is
you.
at. You can mitigate a lot of wasted time
Hmm.
and even an employee position just
Hmm.
by implementing automation. That's huge.
Perfect. So compliance. Tell me about how you keep your businesses compliant to the government regulations and make sure that you're following all protocol. Um, Tell me more about that.
So we use a CRM system, for all. Basically, I'm trying to use this system to handle everything. If I could implement a garage door open widget, then I would do that too. But basically, we set appointments, quarterly, biannually, based on if it's tax obligations, license renewals, things like that.
Okay.
Um, I used to try to keep all that stuff in my head and even jot it down, digitally or with pen and pad. But the CRM is a great tool because you set it up, you get the notifications. Normally set them about 3 days out before the deadline, or maybe a week in some cases. But kind of helps you keep everything in line. Because as an entrepreneur and a small business owner, you got to wear a lot of hats, until you scale out and get to the point where you can step back. So automation helps to manage, so many things that will take that frustration off you.
Right, makes sense. Um, so, um, future goals. Do you have any?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
should, right?
I've got plenty of goals. I'm not going to share them all, but
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
one
yeah.
of the goals that I have with the business is so the retail side of the business. We focus on again, internet, wireless, TV, audio video systems for businesses, brick and mortar, home based businesses, and then also consumers. That retail side of the business has so much potential for revenue generation, and so ultimately, what I want to do is create some type of process or program where I can reach more people, and so that they can put these products into their tool belt. I've been in telecommunications for a while, and there's not a lot of black people in that industry. Just to be honest, I go to these conferences and meetings. We're peppered in there, and this is an industry where, this is the basis of the future, and so we need more, of the youth to kind of be introduced to a lot of these different technologies, advanced in at an entry level, so they can understand that this is a great industry to be in as far as um, immediate revenue generation and also longevity. Um, but ultimately,
Right.
I want to create a system again where
Uh,
anybody walking the street can potentially make money just by having access to these products that we have with an app on their phone. So if they're having a
Actually,
conversation with someone about,
that
hey,
was
internet, phone, home security, they can process an order. It gets installed. You got a bag coming. Real simple. So
that was gonna be my follow-up question as how do you plan to kind of, like follow up with new technologies? It's an ever-changing thing. And mostly IT, your business,
mhm.
is really into the whole technology thing. How do you plan to focus on those ever changing technologies and what's your plan for it?
Well, here's my focus, right? So when I decided to become a business owner and not self-employed, I still had the same simplistic mentality about why I'm actually um, uh, attracting money. And I'm not a greedy person, like I observe all the different technologies coming out, and if some of them could be beneficial uh, to our industry or our particular sector, then great. But I like to stay in my lane, until I make a choice to deviate or scale, and if everything is working in harmony, and we're profitable, and it's a streamlined operation, um, I'm good with that. But as the new technologies come out, I don't think that we would just run and chase everything coming out, because at the end of the day, I still like to keep a healthy balance between my humanity and technology. So I only use what's beneficial and functional, and all the rest, I don't really put that much focus on.
Right. Very clear. Very clear. Thank you. Finally, I know you're kind of tired. You must be probably. We
Yeah,
don't
I
know,
gave you my word that we were going to do this, and
but I'm
this is
enjoying
this is a
it.
podcast premiere, first time doing a video.
Oh,
It was fun. I told you,
thank
we
you.
just having a conversation. We talk like this all the time, so
Yeah, we do.
I don't mind coming in and supporting you.
Oh, thank you. So finally, the last question. Any advice to the newbies? I know you kind of mentioned a few things in the process and said a few things, but what's your advice? Um, Also, include the common mistakes you see new businesses make in your industry.
Um, I would say the first thing would be setting realistic milestones and goals, coming up with a solid business plan, financial projection, so that way you have a target, something to aim for, and really focus on the elements of infrastructure, for the business type that you're trying to build. When I started, hey, I just jumped off the porch with it. I didn't have any design, any business knowledge. All I knew was buy low and sell high. That's how I started. But I learned a lot, along the way. So I would say definitely, even before you jump out, quit your job or go in full time, do your due diligence. Learn about your industry, learn about what type of technologies and systems that can support, a lot of the operations. Because starting off, it's going to be frustrating. You're going to have to wear all the hats. I mean, it's a grueling process. So if you now, you have access to systems and programs that could like mitigate a lot of that frustration. So I would say do your due diligence on that, take advantage of that, and really just set in your mind that you're going to make this happen no matter what. No is not an option. Never give up.
No is not an option.
You're going to get beat down.
Do you guys hear that?
You're going to get boot
No
stomped.
is not an option.
You're going to get boot stomped multiple times, and that's a part of the process. It's growing pains. As long as you get back up, hey, we're rocking on. Now you're a little bit tougher. You know how to deal with things. You got that learning curve. There's nothing like first-hand experience. People can tell you things all the time. You'll never experience it the way they experience it.
Is the
so
best
when you
teacher.
walk through it, so when you're going through that adversity and those trials, like embrace it. You know what I'm saying? This is what make diamonds. You know what I'm saying? But because you made a commitment that no matter what, I ain't stopping. So I'm embracing this. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna build me up. Helps me. With reflection. Okay, let me. Stop for a second, gather my thoughts. Self development, personal development, I would say, would be another strong pillar, because as a new business owner and entrepreneur, you're going to have to go through a lot of self development, personal development. If you don't have a certain level of self discipline, you're not consistent. If you like to do things or those are things that you're going to find out real quick that are not going to work if you want to have a sustainable business. So a lot of personal development, that's what it's going to take, because you have to. It's a mindset that you have to have, and motivation doesn't work, all the time. It'll get you pumped up, but if you're not locked in, you'll be back, applying for jobs in 6 months.
Are we locked?
It's not for everybody. Everybody likes the novelty of, I have a business, and hey, man, once they get in the game, they learn real quick. Like it's not what you thought.
It's serious business.
You got to go harder now.
You got to put in the work.
You're taking your destiny into your own hands. You're not depending on anybody to provide for you. So.
Yeah.
Personal development, system, strategy, being wise with your choices and decisions. You may have a good month. You generated an extra 15 grand, past your expectation. Don't go out and buy, jewels and cars and all these
Gucci.
silly things. If you have a system that's working, take a portion of that, reinvest into the marketing, expand the marketing. But before you do that, build out an expansion process so you can support the expected volume increase. That way everything just flows like butter. And that's another thing too. I would say don't be in so much of a rush to go big if you don't have the back office processes built out, because you'll basically tarnish your name by not being able to fulfill all those orders that may come in from some great marketing. That's even worse than not getting anybody calling, because if nobody calls, your name is still good. But once people start calling and you can't stand on your word, then how bad reviews travel faster than good reviews, and that's a huge thing. So
you have good reviews on your company. Very good.
We take care of our people, customer service. If we say we're going to do it, we're going to do it. Our customers call us for everything. They call us if they have HVAC issues or roofing, and that's what we're a full service concierge. So whether we do those particular services in house, if not, we have a network of contractors in several different industries where we become the one-stop shop. So you don't have to go online and search for these different companies. Give us a call. We do the footwork, and then we'll come back with options. Multiple quotes for you to choose from. With a support system. For businesses and for consumers. Like if you're just completely lost and you don't know where to go, give us a call. Whether you do business with us or not, we can point you in the right direction.
Right.
We take pride in that,
Yeah. So actually, that brings me to the end, but not the end. Jimo, I want you to do me one more favor.
What's that?
Can you tell me where people can find your IT management services and the other networking services? Just give us just one more brief explanation about what you do.
Basically, you can go to our parent site. It's KMT Technologies. That's technology spelled with a K, not a CH. KMTTechnologies.com. Fill out a inquiry form. We'll set up a consultation, and then we'll come up with a plan for you. Simple as that. That's the quickest way to get in touch with us, and we have pretty prompt response time.
Okay. Do you have a website or?
That's the website.
That's the website.
Yeah, KMTTechnologies.com.
And the phone number is there.
Yeah, the phone number is there. Field form is on there. You fill that out. We set up a time to have a consultation or conversation, and then we take it from there.
So basically, you just do installations of DirecTV, stuff like that. Well, what exactly?
No, we do way more than that. Now, come on, man. You can't downplay us like that. So, now I have to get back to the story. So I started off as a satellite technician, just doing the DirecTV stuff. Now, once COVID hit, I had to pivot and adapt immediately because everybody was locked down. Businesses were suffering. So that killed like 65% of my revenue monthly. So what I did was we pivoted over to, we put more attention into structured cabling, low voltage work. So this is like the communications cable in your home, data lines, coax, alarm, security wire. So we started doing commercial contracts on that side. So we've been able to remain pretty consistent on that. And we also provide streamlined and automated services for hotels, hospitals, student counseling, any kind of business dwelling. We have a solution for it. So that's actually what we've been. We've actually just gotten back into the retail side this year. But no, we're all purpose IT management company. Anything that needs to be done, we'll help you get it done. That's for sure. We also do a lot of work with nonprofit organizations. So right now we have a promotion with DirecTV, 50% off, locked in for the life of the contract for having either 501(c) or 501(c)(4). I think a lot of HOA organizations are on 501(c)(4), but they get the same discount, 50% off. So anyone that has a nonprofit, whether you have a commercial brick and mortar location or if you're a home-based nonprofit, you can still get that 50% discount. Fill out a form, set up a time, we'll have a conversation about it, and we'll get you going. Even if you have an existing account as a nonprofit with DirecTV, we don't make any money off that process, but we'll help you get that 50% discount if you're still paying retail price.
Right. Well, I guess this is it.
This is it. This was fun. I hope this is good enough for you. I normally like to stay off the cameras, and I've always played. I'm like the utility guy. I like to stay in the back and make sure everything is moving. But this is fun though. I always enjoy having the conversations with you.
Oh, thank you so much, Emo. I appreciate you. You've been just an amazing friend throughout the years, and you're very smart. I appreciate your ideas. Everything, you motivate me. I don't know if I've ever told you this. You really motivate me. And
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I was able to do that for you.
Oh, thank you. All right. Take care,
That's the
guys.
gratitude. Whenever we can add on and improve somebody's life, that's the ultimate reward right there. You know, the money's just the extra. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching CarameLLized.